Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Right now, officials are claiming that they are having a difficult time to find an impartial jury in the Ahmaud Arbery case. They are claiming that they're having a difficult time. Now, there are some things that I want to say about all of this because I remember back in the day, and I bet it still happens now in today's time, that when it comes to finding a jury that's going to oversee a case dealing with a black criminal, I believe that they probably find or select people that they know are going to throw the book. But in this case, they want to make sure that they are finding an impartial jury. And you're going to understand why I have such sarcasm in my voice after you hear this audio, because it sounds like to me that someone wants to throw out the fact that Georgia used to have a law where citizens can do certain things, right? That's what it sounds like to me. And there are a number of different reasons why, before I share the article with you, there are a number of different reasons why they would have a hard time selecting a jury. First of all, a lot of people have seen this case. Second of all, you're going to have those of the black population who are tired of just concrete evidence being brought forward. Here's a video showing the murder on camera, but yet a jury comes back and says not guilty if it's a white suspect. And then you have those in the white community who still have the belief that a white man should be able to do whatever he wants to a black person, or a white woman should be able to do whatever she wants to a black person with no consequences. And so that's what you have going on here. They're having a hard time because they don't want to select a black person who may have said, well, this man was walking or jogging and he was hunted down by 3 people who killed him. They don't want to select that kind of person because they feel like that person is impartial already. But they don't have that same type of consideration when selecting a white person who's going to... Anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, take a listen to the details of this article, and I will be right back.
Jury selection in the trial for the 3 men charged in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery is taking longer than usual, legal experts said. More than 100 prospective jurors have been questioned in the case that has made national headlines, intensified the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, and motivated a change in Georgia law. Just 42 jurors have advanced to the second step of the selection process, which started on October 18. Superior Court Judge Timothy Walmsley said jury selection could go on for another week, but the defense hopes they finish the first stage by the end of the week. Ultimately, 12 jury members and 4 alternates will be selected for the trial of the men accused of killing the 25-year-old black man. CNN legal analyst Paige Pate said jury selection is not taking that long for a case with massive media attention, but it is extremely long compared to lower-profile cases. Pate said, however, he is surprised at how difficult it has been to find impartial jurors. According to reports, many of those screened for the jury have already formed opinions, know at least one person in the case, or are afraid to be involved. Pate added that potential jurors are so familiar with the case because Arbery and the defendants lived in a small community of 16,000 people. Gregory McMichael and his son Travis McMichael were caught on video following Arbery, who was jogging in the Satilla Shores neighborhood on the Brunswick outskirts in February 2020. William Roddy Bryan, the third man charged in the case, also pursued Arbery, which he recorded on his cell phone. The 3 men were not charged for Arbery's killing until Bryan had the video leaked on social media. Attorneys for the defendants argue they were attempting to detain Arbery for a string of neighborhood break-ins when things turned deadly. The video shows Travis McMichael shooting Arbery at close range during a scuffle. Bryan allegedly hit Arbery with his truck after he joined the chase. Nobody deserves to be gunned down depending on the situation, one potential juror reportedly said during questioning, who had watched the video. My opinion is Ahmaud was murdered. The three men pleaded not guilty to malice, felony murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. At least 24 potential jurors have displayed negative feelings against the men on trial, CNN reported. According to reports, one person interviewed for the jury pool allegedly gave Arbery's family a thumbs up. One man who made it to the jury pool after questioning, a railroad worker, reminded the court that Arbery was unarmed when he was killed. He saw the video but told the court that he does not use a computer or social media. It was 3 persons who attacked one and no gun, the railroad worker said. Still, he appeared impartial about the case's outcome. He told the court, "There's things that happened that we didn't see and we don't know." The proceedings at times pressed on Arbery's family's emotions, News 4 Jax reported. His mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, had to leave the courtroom after hearing endless recounts of the incident. His father, Marcus Arbery, told CNN he is praying for a jury to find justice for his son. "It's still emotional for my family because it's a raw trauma," he said. "You know, to watch my son get lynched like that by 3 white men, ran him down and lynched him like that. It's really raw." A woman who made the jury pool said she supports the Black Lives Matter movement, but wants to believe Arbery's race wasn't a factor in the killing. Gregory McMichael attorney Laura Hogue said the Black Lives Matter, specifically the Justice for Ahmaud slogan used during demonstrations, has tainted the case. The defense attorneys also want the potential jurors probed about Georgia's citizens' arrest law. Legal analysts told Reuters the attorneys would try to convince the jury that there was no felony because of the pre-existing law. Georgia's citizens' arrest law dates back to 1863. Civil rights advocates said it was used to abuse, kill and punish newly freed black Georgians. It was repealed by lawmakers in May. The law allowed civilians to arrest someone if they witnessed a crime, or had immediate knowledge another person had committed one. If that crime was a felony and the suspect attempted to escape, the law also allowed civilians to detain the person suspected of the crime.
Okay, so many of you may be wondering, why do I have the caption that reads, "Are these law-abiding citizens?" Well, if you heard the information in the article, it sounds as if someone is trying to bring up the fact that, well, Georgia does have laws that say citizens can pursue someone if they think they're a criminal, right? They have those laws on the books. And so that is being brought up as if these men felt that they were acting within the law. But see, they go above and beyond even what the law says. First of all, they didn't catch him in the act of anything. He was just jogging. And then they didn't try to arrest him. They killed him. Okay? And so all of this talk about a jury not being fair and impartial, that is because you have those who don't believe that these men should have to do any time in prison because, let's face it, this country has a history. People don't like to talk about it. As a matter of fact, they want to bury that history, make it against the law. See, there we go again, law-abiding citizens. Making it against the law to even talk about these things in a public school, right? So let me expound a little bit more on, are these law-abiding citizens? Note how they talked about certain laws were put in place so that white citizens could capture slaves who they believed were escaping. So when they start drafting laws, you have to look at what they wanted drafted for, because they wanted to catch runaway slaves. So they said, we need to get citizens involved with this. So at that point, if they draft a law that says white citizens can arrest slaves that they believe are escaping, and it's a law, they then become law-abiding citizens. So on the surface, to hear someone say that, oh, he is a law-abiding citizen, it sounds good on the surface, doesn't it? But when you go a little bit deeper into the history of this country, they have drafted so many laws in direct response to keeping other groups down. You see, so this is why they want to draft a law making it illegal to teach the truth about history and slavery in the classroom. They want to draft laws. So that adds a whole new meaning to law-abiding citizen, doesn't it? Just because someone claims to be a law-abiding citizen or says that they or someone else is a law-abiding citizen, that means absolutely nothing here in America when you consider the laws that have been drafted to keep other groups down or to oppress others. By golly, just like this article stated, they drafted laws so that white citizens could essentially hunt black people. And many of them were taking the law into their own hands, going above and beyond, just like these men did here. They didn't just pursue him. They shot him, and then the other guy hit him with his vehicle because they felt like Georgia law would support them. And for a long time, they went unarrested until all of the media coverage forced it out. In other words, people in their town who knew them, law enforcement, officials, they were going to just let this thing ride, just like they have always in history. And you know what's a trip about all of this? As I'm talking about this and I'm thinking about the case, and I'm thinking about so many other cases where a black person has lost their life because a white person decided they didn't need to live anymore because how dare you walk or jog in my community? How dare you even exist in this world without my permission? I'm thinking about all of the times that these things have happened. You still have those who look at me and those like me like we are the problem. I keep saying this, y'all, because I want y'all to get this in your mind. They feel that we are the problem for talking about these things. They push this Christian ideology that you're supposed to love and forgive, yet they have no love nor forgiveness for anyone else. There's more concern about the lives of these three men and them being treated fairly while on trial than it is about the young man, Ahmaud Arbery, who is now gone. He's dead. His parents will never see him again. But there's less concern for him coming from certain people than it is for these criminals. So this is why they're asking, can they receive a fair and impartial jury? They believe that the black people who were, of course they didn't say black people, they said one juror said, I think they did reference one person as a black juror, but they're pointing out that these people are looking at the situation and saying, well, these three men hunted down a man who was not carrying a weapon. He was armless, right? And so they believe that that makes that person impartial. So they're looking for impartiality, or they're looking for someone to be ready to just look at this case without even considering what happened. They want someone to look at this case not as if it's black and white. They want someone, or jurors, not just someone, but they want 12 people to look at this case from a neutral standpoint. That's pretty much what they're trying to say. Although it's a very clear-cut case, they want you to be neutral. But we all know that in the past, and even now, they are not neutral when it comes to a black suspect. They're not. We have seen cases where black people have been found to be innocent, and they found an evidence of innocence, but yet they hold to the law that says, well, according to this, he was arrested, he did the time, he's on death row, we still got to pull the plug, even though we know there have been cases where they found out someone was probably innocent and they still gave them the death penalty. So they're looking for fairness when it comes to these three white men, but they have no such fairness when it comes to others. And so I would say that many in this nation, both past and present, suffer from a disease called Wedico. Okay, I'm done with this. In the comment section below, Leave your comments, share your thoughts. Be sure to keep it tight and keep it right, but until next time. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.